Hello, 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 and welcome to the last and final class in the course of the 12 sessions that on the subject of applied meditation. I see I have connection, which is wonderful, and I apologize for not being able to connect in before. So it's actually so interesting that this class started right before this suspicious time that we're in, the COVID time. And I'm very happy I see people joining, so that's awesome. So we will begin. In this last class, in this last session on the subject, I would like to tie up some loose ends and give you a couple more pointers around how to make your meditation practice more powerful, how to stay committed to the meditation practice. And also, I believe last time I talked about the 9 levels of the meditation where you can measure your own progress. And you start with the intention to meditate, to sit yourself down. It's that first kiss that you give to somebody, light pat on the cheek when you run out of the house. It's that first intention to commit to this practice, because the times that we are in right now and we are going into will very significantly change our reality. So right now we're all, it's the end of April, and we're all, committed to the houses. So we're all quarantined, and I think most of us, and myself too, we're waiting for life to go back to the status quo, the way it was. And the real challenge here is to understand that the life will never go back to the status quo. It will never be the way it was. And the humbling point to me was actually when you see how this planet is thriving while people are on house arrest. The planet. And the humbling thought here is this planet doesn't need us, humans, among the billions of other species that live on this planet. It really doesn't, but we do need this planet. So I think this is the time for us to think a lot how we live. And it's also the time for very deep introspection. And the deep introspection is only possible when you are in the very intimate practice of meditation, where you can look at yourself from a different angle, from a different perspective, where you can re-examine your beliefs, re-examine yourself, re-examine your identity, because a lot of what we believe ourselves to be is not true self. And in the practice of meditation, when you allow yourself to go deeper within and explore this mind, this consciousness that we all have, you not only clean and vacuum the patterns, the thought patterns, the belief systems that we were born with, we came with, or were installed and reinforced during childhood and adulthood, we can re-examine them. And it's also essential practice to concentrate and control your mind, control your instincts, control your behaviors, because the times, based on what lots of teachers that I follow, the teachers that lead my way of personal growth and development, they say this is just the beginning. So concentrated mind, focused mind, where you can control what you think, because what you think determines what you feel. Thoughts are always connected to the emotions, and the emotions trigger behaviors, and behaviors create your destiny, create your life. And it's always the point of making a choice. There's destiny, there's also fate, which is a default program. So last time we talked about 9 levels of meditation. And the last level, the level 9, is when you have single pointed focused and you reach that highest level, the shamatha. I was talking about that in our first session when I was describing different synonyms, different names for the meditation. And at the 9th level, you are at shamatha, you are in that deep state. And that is the goal for this entire practice. And people, when they are at that level, they can place mind immediately on the object when you sit down. There's no fussing, there's zero effort. The sensations in the mind, the sensations in the body are beautiful. It is a beautiful experience to go into the meditation. And it is very happy. It's a very happy state of meditation. They'll rather be in meditation than interact with the what we call real life. And that's why you see some of the great yogis, they can sit in that practice for days, because it's blissful. And at this level, when you place your mind on an object, you can go deeper and come to very incredible understanding of the truth of life, of the truth of everything. And at this level, they say you're not even in this realm, in the realm that we are, myself is in. And this realm, the Buddhists call the first form realm. At this level, you see ultimate reality and how it unfolds from your own seats. And you can see emptiness of everything directly. And that's the goal of achieving it, the emptiness that we talked about during this class. And also, this level, you go beyond your abilities as a human being. And here you can also help very many people. You can see your potential is unlimited. And my teachers say that our potential is so enormous that we can create the universe. So at this level, that potential is achieved. You are your best version of yourself. You are the being who reached full potential. You can see into the past, present, and future, and you can see the minds and the hearts of all living beings. So you can help them as an angel. So it's a wonderful state. It's a high mark, a high bar, but it is absolutely possible. I know people who reach that state, and if they did, so can we. I also wanted to talk a little bit more about the challenges and what you can do to eliminate these challenges, to make this practice of meditation a little bit more effortless, less prone with effort, because it is challenging to sit on a cushion in a lotus position. Sometimes it's very challenging just to keep the lotus position. So I wouldn't encourage anybody who has problem with the knees to sit in the lotus position. Sit in half lotus, sit on the chair. Don't push yourself to the extent that it could damage your health. But the biggest challenges are not the sitting. It is the sitting for a prolonged time. That is the challenge. But the biggest one, we talked about it, is laziness. Is when our mind does not want to go deeper into itself. It doesn't want to explore its true nature. And it's always this inner battle, the mind and your willpower, your stubbornness, your tenacity, your desire to do it. And when you go into the meditation, it's not the goal to want to see the results. It's really to explore the nature of your mind. And it should feel like adventure. It shouldn't be a chore. It should be hassle. It should be hard work. Make it pleasant for yourself, and make it into the exploration. For some might resonate. I remember Joe Dispenza told us that it is your date with God, with the divine. So when you go with that kind of predisposition, it breaks the laziness. It really does. And but don't expect this not to be a battle. Don't expect this to go away. It will be. So stay persistent, stay stubborn. Don't believe everything the mind tells you, because the mind will come up with a lot of excuses and postponements. And I also told you that what matters is what you plant in your consciousness off the pillow, off the meditation pillow. That is very important. So I want to give you some of the examples that could help you see more effortless meditation, and deal with this inertia, where, especially in the morning, when I've been waking up later than usual. I've been skipping days, and that's the usual thing. That's normal thing. And you're tired today. You went to bed late, especially now when the time is not very steady and stable. It never is, true in truthfulness. But when the best way to beat the mind is with the habit. It's good and bad habit, but the mind is very habitual animal. So you can habituate this if you set your intention on it. But here are some of the thoughts, suggestions, what to do. So the big one is, I do not have time. And even now, when we have all the time in the world to do this, there is still this thing, well, there's so much to do. I'll do this later. I'll postpone it. This could wait. You go and start doing things rather than being in the meditation. And this time thing, you can seed the availability of time. Time is the most precious thing we have. Time is something that you can never give get back. So this is the most precious thing you have. And when you consciously give time to people and give them the luxury to do what they need to or they want to, you plant a very powerful seed that will give you time for meditation. Basically, if you free someone else for some period of time, maybe it's even 15 minutes, maybe it's an hour, maybe somebody needs to go do grocery shopping or go see the doctor, and you watch the kids, it could be a neighbor, it, it could be anything where you free people up to do what they need to do. Basically, you gifting them time. So you're whatever you give is what you're going to get back. So when you gift the free time for something important and dedicate that action to deepening your own meditation practice and maybe going for longer than 10, 15, 20 minutes. When you make an effort to do that, you will you will see this you will elongate the time you spent on the cushion yourself, and you'll have a longer practice. Now, the other thing that is very challenging is sitting in the position for a long time, and because the body always wants to move. Something hurts, something falls asleep, something you just want to stretch and move. Even if you set an intention to sit and not move for a period of time, something starts to itch, something has to be scratched. You really have to stretch your leg because it's hurting. So here's the little trick here. Do not move for a little bit. Do not move when your leg is frozen, fallen asleep, and you feel it hurts. Go there. Follow that pain and go to the very edge where you would love to move, but you don't. So it's the same thing as exercising. You know, sometimes when you haven't exercised in a long time, or when you take a challenging class and the trainer pushes you and you can't lift that weight anymore, but you still do. And when you do, you stretch your capacity a little bit more and you release an enormous amount of energy, an enormous amount of luft. It's like second breath that propels you to go further. The same thing is with these body sensations when you do meditation, or itching, or whatever that is. Watch it. Just stay with it and let it dissolve. Literally how you would do when you're training yourself physically with some dumbbells, weights. Just watch it and go with it and see it will take you deeper. It will actually, it's that edge where you can drop into a deeper state beyond that point. If you only stay a little bit longer with that, don't ignore, drop into that. Now, the other thing is, it's the judgment, is the self criticism. And I told you that this practice has to be very positive. You have to have a feeling of inner exploration. And when you don't judge yourself, even if you struggle through the entire practice, you plant positive sensations with it. So you perceive this practice more positively. and you're much happier to go into it. So there are some days when you cannot hold the object, whatever that is. And there are some days that you can't even hold it 5, 6 seconds. And maybe we'll have even more of those days. Find the breath. Find the breath, because the breath controls your thoughts. The breath is that hook. And we talked about the onion. We talked about how everything is layered. The consciousness is in the body, and how everything is connected. The breath, the body, the thoughts, the emotions. Find the breath. Find the breath, and it will always pull you back to you. And center the breath somewhere in the middle of your chest. Go in the middle of your chest. This is the safest place in your body, actually. This is where the vortex of your heart is. And this is where love lives. If you can breathe with your heart, with this area on your body, you can breathe with everything. Your skin is constantly breathing. This is your biggest organ. But breath could anchor you, could anchor your thoughts, could tame you down. So don't judge yourself when the practice is not going the way you want it. Never, ever. If you notice that you're off the object, that you cannot focus and concentrate, be happy that you noticed, and really be happy about it. It's a powerful seed. You don't want to do or think anything negative when you are in the practice of meditation about the practice itself. You want to cultivate positive thoughts and positive feelings about this practice. And the other thing we talked at one of the classes is about focus and concentration. What you do off the mat, off the couch, off the cushion, is make sure you don't disturb others when they are concentrated. Make a concerted effort. And when you catch yourself doing it, dedicate that. The power of dedication is immense, and we'll talk about it in a second. But dedicate it to the focus, single pointed focus for your own meditation practice. And then listening skills. This is something that I have been suffering from, lack of listening skills throughout my corporate career. When they talk about communication, communication is always connected with listening. So it's a listening when talking. But when you have a hard time listening, you might have a hard time listening to yourself, listening onto yourself and meditating. So cultivate good listening skills. Learn to listen more than you speak yourself. But when you listen, it's never half your ear or a quarter of your ear. It's never just hearing the noise, the sounds, but not giving it any attention. It's really listening with your entire system, your entire body, with every fiber of your body. When you listen that way, you cultivate great meditation. So give somebody your undivided attention. It could be your child, it could be your parent, it could be your husband, whoever's close to you. Listen intently. And the seeds of the listening will help you remove the obstacles and will allow you to go deeper. Again, dedicate that to your meditation practice. And then the last one is courage. Courage to go deeper into the emotions when they are not the most positive of emotions. And we all are we all have the disease of negative thinking, and we overlay a lot of emotions around that negative thinking. Starting with ourselves, starting judging ourselves. And so when you become courageous and you don't mind or you want to hear whatever that comes, in your meditation practice, you welcome any emotion that comes. You can clean it. There's no way avoiding that emotion. It will nag and nag and nag and come out in different situations. So the only thing is to embrace it, whatever that might be. So, and the last thing I wanted to share is the dedication. Um, think about everything you do has an energetic charge. It's the, if you will, it's motivation, it's the intention. And that energy manifests better when you intend it, when you give it a direction, where to go. So, whatever is your highest desire for yourself and for your own, livelihood, should be your intention for everything you do in life, whether it's, I don't know, cleaning the house, doing something for another, cooking a meal. Everything is energy, everything requires energy. Thinking meditation requires a lot of energy. Dedicate that energy to something that is for your highest good, for your biggest wish for yourself in this life. So, I don't know, if you want prosperity and abundance and wealth and money, then you dedicate everything you do to that wish. If your highest wish is to find a relationship, to be in the loving relationship, you dedicate everything you do to that. If your highest goal is the ninth level of meditation practices, if your highest goal is um, ultimate happiness, enlightenment, then dedicate every single action that you do to that goal. Send your energy. You literally, it's as if you have a bank, energetic bank. It's like money blocks or dollar bullions, and everyone is marked for this particular goal, whatever that is. In my example, in my case, it is the enlightenment. It is ultimate happiness for myself and all living beings. So everything I do, uh, clean the garbage, compost, cook, I earmark that energy for that goal. And it sends it in the right direction. It's not haphazard, it's very guided. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Please watch for other courses, either on my page or on the Million Meditator page. And thank you very much for joining. And please do adopt this practice as a regular habit. And have a wonderful day.